Hello, boys and girls. Today we are in lesson 12.5 on page 723, and we are going to classify quadrilaterals. Our essential question: how can you use sides and angles to help you describe quadrilaterals? So we're going to take what we've learned already in this chapter about describing sides and describing angles and talk about quadrilaterals. So just as a reminder, with sides, we talked about parallel sides. We talked about perpendicular sides. Those are the sides that make a right angle. And we've talked about intersecting sides, right? So intersecting sides are just two sides that come together. And then the perpendicular, I already talked about. Parallel, there we go, are two lines or line segments or sides that would never cross. If we extended them out forever, they still would never cross. And then quadrilateral, we talked about quad means four, so a quadrilateral is a four-sided shape. Of course, it has to be a closed shape with only line segments. So let's take a look at Unlock the Problem here. It says quadrilaterals are named by their sides and their angles. So let's take a little closer look here. Describe quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals, how many sides do they have? Well, we just talked about that, but they have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A quadrilateral always has four sides. And by now we know on a polygon, however many sides it has, that's how many angles it has. And same thing with the quadrilateral. They will have 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. Okay? Doesn't matter what it looks like. If it has four sides, four angles, it is a quadrilateral. Error alert. Some quadrilaterals cannot be classified as a trapezoid, a rectangle, a square, or a rhombus. And there's a perfect example right there. It's not any of those things, but it is a quadrilateral because it has four sides and four angles. Trapezoid. This is the trapezoid we typically see, but these other two examples are also trapezoids as well. There we go. Okay, all three are trapezoids. And the definition of a trapezoid: at least one pair of opposite sides that are parallel. Okay, the lengths of the sides can be the same. So at least one pair of parallel sides. And on this guy, these sides are parallel. And on this one, these two sides are parallel. Now on this one, it's a little different. It has these two sides are parallel, and these two sides are parallel. That's a square otherwise, right? But a square is a special trapezoid. Okay, so a trapezoid, again, at least one pair of parallel sides. It can have two pair. It can have that. Let's look at rectangles. These two guys right here, the red one and the green one, are examples of rectangles. Again, this is also known as a square. It's a special rectangle. So how many pairs of opposite sides that are parallel? If we look at rectangles, one pair, two pair on this one pair here, and a second pair here. So rectangles have two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. And then how many pairs of sides that are equal length? Okay, well, if we look at this again, let me erase some of this work and look at sides that are equal length. On a rectangle, this side, let me get a pen, there we go. This side and this side are equal length. This side and this side are equal length. Let's go to the green one. This side and that side are equal length. This side and this side are equal length. So it also has two pairs of sides that are of equal length. And then finally, how many right angles? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's look at the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they have to have four right angles. Two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, two pairs of sides that are equal length, and four right angles. Let's look at squares. Squares. How many pairs of opposite sides that are parallel? Well, one pair, two pair. So just like the rectangle, a square has two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. All right, now the difference is going to be in this next one. How many sides that are equal length? All four sides on all four sides on a square are the same length. So a square has four sides that are the same length. And how many right angles? Well, we can count those up easily. 1, 2, 3, 4. Needs to have four right angles. So four sides that are all the same length and four right angles, that's going to give you a square. And then you can also have this guy here. But if you have these two, that's going to make a square no matter what. And finally, let's look at rhombus. Rhombus, how many pairs of opposite sides that are parallel? Just like the square, just like the rectangle. One pair, two pair. One pair, two pair. So rhombus has also two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. And then how many sides that are of equal length? Again, if we look at them, equal length, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4. It needs to have four sides of equal length. The only difference in the rhombus compared to the rectangle, a rhombus does not need to have right angles. It can, like there, has four right angles, so it's a square, but again, a square is a special kind of rhombus, okay? This is also a rhombus, but it doesn't have the 90-degree angle. So all a rhombus needs are four sides that are equal length, and then you get your opposite sides that are parallel. All right, now as you're working on the assignment today, make sure you refer back to this page, page 723. It will help you on your assignment. Let's move on a little bit further here. Let's go to the share and show. I'm going to work through problems 1 through 6, but this is a great time for you to pause the video, do 1 through 6 on your own, and then use the video to correct your mistakes if you make any. So once you're done with 1 through 6, resume the video, and then you can correct them up. All right, I'm assuming you worked on 1 through 6. Let's take a look at them, and you can correct your answers as I move along here. Number 1, outline each pair of opposite sides that are parallel with a different color. How many pairs of opposite sides appear to be parallel? So I'm going to look at this one right here. These two sides are parallel, and these two sides are parallel. So it has two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. Two pair. Number 2, look at the parallel sides you colored. The sides in each pair are of blank length. So if I look at these two blue sides, they are equal length. And if I look at the two red sides, they are of equal length compared to each other, only compared to each other. So they are of equal length. We should have equal here. And moving on to number 3, name the quadrilateral in as many ways as you can. So if I look at that quadrilateral, well, first of all, I know it's a quadrilateral because that's what the whole lesson is about. So I'm going to write quadrilateral, and I'm just going to abbreviate it. Quadrilateral, we've studied that. I also know that it is a rectangle. That one's easy to spy. Rectangle. I know it is not a square. I know it's not a square because it doesn't have four sides that are the same length. And I know it's not a rhombus because, again, it does not have four sides that are the same length. The other thing it is, it's a trapezoid. And let's talk about why. So I have quadrilateral, rectangle, and also trapezoid. It's a trapezoid because, if you remember from the definitions from the previous page, a trapezoid, there it is, at least one pair of opposite sides that are parallel. Okay? And right here, an example of a special rectangle called a square, but it is a rectangle, and it has at least one pair of opposite sides that are parallel. It actually has two pairs, which we can have. So it is a trapezoid as well. Let's look at number 4. The directions for 4, 5, and 6 say circle all the words that describe the quadrilateral. So number 4, that is a rectangle. It is not a rhombus because all four sides are not the same length. It's not a square because all four sides are not the same length. And it is a trapezoid because at least one pair of parallel sides. Number 5, we have this shape here. All four sides are the same length, so it is a rhombus. It is a quadrilateral. It's a four-sided shape. It's closed, made of line segments. It is not a square because it does not have right angles, and for that same reason, it's not a rectangle. No right angles, and squares and rectangles need 4 right angles. And finally, number 6. Number 6, this is not a rectangle. Again, it does not have right angles. It's not a rhombus, and a rhombus needs all four sides to be the same length. It is a trapezoid because it has at least one pair of parallel sides. And it is a quadrilateral because it's a four-sided polygon. That makes it a quadrilateral. All right, boys and girls, that's it for the workbook. As far as with the video. And today we are going to have, it looks like a workbook assignment, no HMH assignment today. So we'll go over the problems you'll need to do in your workbook. But as always, do your best, persevere. This is Mr. P, and I'm out.